You're listening to the Happy Workaholic Podcast. I'm your host, Kellyanne Gorman. This show was once about business, LinkedIn, and my life with an autoimmune disease. And then one day I found out I was misdiagnosed, so I had to switch things up a bit. Life is so short, and when you're given a second chance, you better believe I'm going to take it, celebrate it, and share it with you. I'm on a mission to help women take their business and life to that next level they deserve to be at. This show is intended to elevate your mind, upgrade your business, enhance your life, and become part of a positive and uplifting community. Inspiration, motivation, and determination are what got me to where I am today, and I cannot wait to share these amazing stories of other female entrepreneurs who will be featured on the show. If you have a story or brand you want to share, send me a message on Facebook and Instagram today. You can find me at The Happy Workaholic. I would love to connect with you. Do you want a live chat during this episode? Make sure you're listening on iHeartRadio. I'm here to remind you to work hard, stay humble, follow your dreams, and never, ever give up. Thanks for taking the time to subscribe to the Happy Workaholic Podcast. And now let's get into today's show. Today's episode is brought to you by Your Podcast Production. Have you been wanting to launch your own podcast but not sure where to begin? Is time the only thing holding you back? Maybe you're already recording but need somebody to guide you through the production process. Do you have a message that needs to be heard? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then I have just the program for you. Your Podcast Production designs, coaches, produces, and aligns you and your brand to have a successful, enjoyable, and profitable podcast. After launching my own show, I had so many women reach out to me and ask me how I did it. So what did I do? I created something I wish existed. There are many ways to create and launch a podcast, and you want to make sure you do it right from the very beginning. I believe that keeping it simple, organized, and original is the most effective and efficient way to go. Are you ready to start the process? Are you ready to learn more? Visit yourpodcastproduction.com today. Hey everyone, welcome back to a brand new show. You are listening to episode number 122. 122 episodes. I can't even believe it. So I've been contemplating on where I wanted to go with this show now that it's really grown. It's in over 50 countries as of today, 52 this morning. And, you know, I've set a lot of goals for myself in regards to this show and my business and my entire brand. And over the last couple of months, things have just really rapidly grown. And they've been moving into the podcasting business a lot more quicker than I thought. And I'm honestly loving every single part of it. I love learning something new every day. I love helping other business owners and other females create and launch their brand new podcasts. It's just so amazing and like insane that my business has just grown into this, and it's growing fast. So I had to really sit down and like think about a lot of things over the last couple of weeks, and I've been doing promos for a lot of my podcasting programs, whether it's coaching and producing, and I'm growing my community for the show. And I just really had to have a conversation with myself and just kind of figure out like where I wanted to go, what I wanted to drop, what I wanted to grow even more. And so I wanted to share with you today the huge news that you are going to be getting not one, not two, but 3 episodes of the Happy Workaholic Podcast every single week starting right now. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you can expect to hear 3 brand new shows. Now, I've been doing 2 shows a week over the last couple of weeks, as Wednesday is focused on my I Chose This Life series, which is featuring other female entrepreneurs, and Fridays are my solo show. Now, if you've been tuning in to the I Chose This Life series, those shows have been running 45 minutes to sometimes an hour. And they are going to be just a little bit shorter. And I'm going to be breaking up my topics I discuss for Monday and Friday shows. So on Mondays, what you're going to be hearing about now is mindfulness, personal development, mental health awareness, some life hacks, and maybe some recipes I'll throw in there, and so much more. Wednesday, oh my gosh, I can't talk. Wednesdays, you are going to continue to hear from some incredible female entrepreneurs that I have lined up about a good solid 2 months right now worth of shows I have on deck. And I can't wait for you guys to hear those because they're just so inspiring. Fridays are now going to be filled with business tips, some podcasting strategies for you, some networking tips, sales and selling and social media, and really geared toward and focused towards more business, just business, and how you can really expand your brand and your network and get more sales. And I decided to break this up because, as you hear in the intro, I recently upgraded my show, and I had to because I obviously no longer have an autoimmune disease. And now I have the show, you can hear right in my intro and everywhere online in my bio, it says that it's a show that's intended to elevate your mind, upgrade your business, enhance your life, and become a part of a positive and uplifting community. And I really feel like I needed to break up what I was talking about. So now on Mondays, you'll have things that are geared towards personal. Wednesdays are inspirational business stories and personal as well. And Fridays are business. So I really just wanted to break it up. I'm going to be doing shorter shows, and I'm going to be growing this community. So if you're not already a part of the Happy Workaholic Network Facebook group, I would love to have you in the group. There's just a couple of questions you need to answer, so search for it on Facebook. The link is also in the show notes, as well as my Patreon community. So you can expect to see more on that. And that's the news I have. I'm super excited. I'm really, honing in on what I want to talk about. As I mentioned, I'm breaking it up individually per show so that if you just want to hear more about personal development, or if you want to hear about more business and sales tactics and things that will really help you elevate your brand on LinkedIn, then tune in on Fridays. So you'll obviously be able to see by the title if that's something that you're interested in. And then I just recently started working out again. Hard. So maybe that's why my back hurts, actually. Like really bad. Today I actually didn't work out, so maybe I'm stiff now that I think about it. That just wasn't the smartest. I definitely overdid it yesterday. Have you ever done that? Overdid it on the stairs. So I know that we're supposed to be walking 10,000 steps every day. So those of you with your Fitbits on, congrats. I do not have one. So I honestly keep my phone in my bra. Keeping it classy over here. I keep my phone in my bra so that I can count my steps, and I am screenshotting them now and putting them on a highlight on my Instagram. And I'm doing that to keep myself accountable. So if you would like to join my accountability party, please feel free to find me on Instagram at The Happy Workaholic. Tag me on your Insta stories when you do your steps, and we can keep each other accountable. I would love to have some accountability partners. And then if you're looking for some healthy recipes, I've been posting those again. And if you don't know this by now, I'm like a meal prepping machine. And I haven't been doing that the last month or so. I've just been like all over the place, and I really need to stop and get my shit together and keep doing my meal prepping and my workouts and all that fun stuff that I really do honestly enjoy, and it's going to keep me a much healthier version of myself, right? So for me personally, when I take screenshots of things and put it on the internet and Instagram, I feel like somebody can call me out. So that's why I do it. So I can't cheat myself. So again, if you'd like to join my little accountability party, you can follow me on Instagram and tag me when you do your steps. That would be so much fun. And then if you haven't already, I would honestly love it so much if you could rate, review, and subscribe to this show. I've been spending so much time on the back end of SEO and analytics and hosting and just so much work. I've been spending so many hours doing a lot of production and back-end and search engine optimization and a lot of things that aren't my favorite thing to do. And reviews mean so much, not just a 5-star. Like, really let me know what you're thinking. And when I read those, I am going to now, moving forward in the episodes, shout you out and give you a thank you on my shows, as well as inside of the Happy Workaholic Network Facebook group. And then I'm doing something different for my Patreon community, so you'll be seeing that soon. And then, since today is all about geared towards more personal development, mental health, I wanted to talk to you guys about a new therapy I'm going to start. So obviously I need therapy, because who doesn't? But as I have taken myself off of 12 prescription medications, and I was misdiagnosed, and I'm not doing chemo, obviously, and I got my metal port out, and I'm just trying to live my best life because I got another chance at it. And long story short, I have a therapist, and it's just not working. I get really worked up when I keep reliving what I'm going through now, which is trying to find a legal team to represent my case. And I have to relive my story over and over again. So obviously it's super emotional, traumatic. I have panic attacks, all that fun stuff, right? So my therapist just suggested that I start this new therapy called EMDR. And that is short for eye movement desensitization. God, I can't talk. And reprocessing, EMDR. So it's a therapy with a holistic approach that has been extensively researched. I'm reading this from Google for you. It has been extensively researched and proven effective for the treatment of trauma. And it has a set of standardized protocols that incorporates elements from many different treatment approaches. So if you Google it, EMDR, you can read a lot more on it. But if you've ever heard of this, or if you've ever done it, I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube. I'm definitely moving forward, and I'm going to try it. I guess it's quite common for PTSD patients and anything that's really traumatic, or you're going through trauma, or you have had major trauma in your life, that this is a really good therapy. So I'm going to try it, but I would love to hear from you guys if you know anybody that's done it, how they feel. I'm just trying to heal my body in as many ways as I possibly can. So this is just something I'm doing right now. I'm actually going to start in 2 weeks because I have a week off of therapy. So I'm going to try it. So I just want to be open and honest with you guys, and it was really difficult for me to talk about topics like this and yet talk about business in a podcast at the same time. So that's really another reason why I wanted to break my shows up, because I know that whether you're listening, you might not be able to relate to things that I'm talking about on a Monday now. So then you can just tune into Wednesday and Friday shows and know that, I'm not going to be talking about going to therapy or throwing out my back. So I know that I have a different audience than most, because I talk about a lot of different things on my shows. So as I do with everything else, I just wanted to kind of keep it a lot more organized and set up a new trend for the show. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. I hope that you enjoy the changes. If any of this is interesting to you, I would love to hear your feedback. I'm on Twitter a lot more. You can follow me at Kellyanne Gorman, my full name. All of the new links I have will be in the show notes, and I cannot wait to hear your feedback. If you're listening, I would love for you to take a screenshot, tag me on Instagram at The Happy Workaholic. You can do the same on Facebook as well, and just let me know what you're thinking of the new episodes. Again, they're going to be a lot short and sweet, the way I like it, more organized format as everything is growing and expanding. And I also just want to remind you that I have a brand new program for podcasting beginners called Start Your Podcast Today, and that is in addition to your podcast production. So there's a couple things going on. The Happy Workaholic Network is really growing and expanding, and I'm just so grateful for all of the opportunities I've had, the amazing guests I've had on my show, my listeners, and just everything. So I wanted to do this as a thank you. I wanted to do this to keep it more organized for you, the listener, so that you could tune in on the days that you really want to listen to that specific topic. You know, I listen to a lot of podcasters, and when I'm skimming through, sometimes I know that I just don't want to hear about a certain topic. So now you can expect certain topics to be discussed on specific days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for the Happy Workaholic podcast. So that is all I have for you guys today. I'm super excited. All the changes, my new therapy, my new accountability. And then again, if you could rate, review, and subscribe and screenshot and let me see all those beautiful reviews, I will read them on air on my next show. So I hope you guys enjoyed this show, and I will talk to you again soon. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. If you liked this episode, please share it with someone who you feel needs to hear this message. And don't forget to tag me at The Happy Workaholic on Facebook and Instagram so I can feature you on my stories. And if you have 2 minutes and listening on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, I would love it if you could leave me a review. Those messages mean so much to us podcasters, and they really help me create more of the content that you'll love. Want to continue today's conversation? It's simple. Head to Facebook and search for the Happy Workaholic Network Facebook group. Answer the questions and you're in. For more information on myself, coaching programs, weekly newsletter, and more, visit thehappyworkaholic.com. The Happy Workaholic Podcast is part of the iHeartRadio Podcast Network. Be sure to follow the Happy Workaholic Podcast on iHeartRadio or subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. I hope that your day continues to be happy, healthy, positive, and productive, and I'll talk to you again soon.